For 50 years, Reynolds Coliseum was the home of NC State men's basketball. Tonight, in the final home game of the non-conference schedule, the Pack returns to its hallowed home in the annual Heritage Game against Texas Southern. Welcome you courtside, everybody, here at Valvano Arena alongside Casey Morsell. I'm Andrew Sanders. Glad you could join us tonight. The Heritage Game here in Reynolds Coliseum. It's a special place, Casey, and you played here several times. Special
is the best way to describe it. Reynolds Coliseum, there's nothing like it. NC State only gets one chance to play here, so this is special not only for the players, but for the fans as well.
NC State coming off a loss against Kansas on Saturday. This was a heartbreaker. 19th ranked Jayhawks in town. Lenovo Center was sold out. You see the crowd. You were there, Casey. It was electric in the building.
Yes, the NC State played a great game, but that loss was definitely a lesson, and they're going to apply those lessons to future games in the season.
Back and forth game, 13 ties, 15 lead changes. Had that look on the floater of the baseline from Quadir Copeland to win the game in regulation. It went to OT. And in the end, this shot from Darian Williams just wide. The Pack came up 1 point short against Kansas. So looking to bounce back from that. I have to do it without star Darian Williams, who will miss tonight's game. He had been dealing with a shoulder issue. He will miss tonight's game, but they say that he will return for the Ole Miss game.
In his absence is a huge opportunity for guys who essentially haven't had a chance to show what they can do. So this is a huge opportunity for other guys to step up and take advantage of the moment.
On the other side for TSU, Troy Hupstead has some great memories here in this building. He went for 22 points and 10 rebounds a couple of years ago while playing for Maryland Eastern Shore. Vin Allen Lubin wins the tip, and away we go. NC State in the home white uniforms, the throwback uniforms, and we get a whistle just 7 seconds in, and a foul on LJ Andrews, the freshman for Texas Southern.
One thing that we're seeing from that first play early is Wolfpack are doing a lot of movement on the offensive end.
Allen Breed into the starting lineup for the first time this season. You mentioned opportunity with Williams being out. It's Breed who has it here on the right wing with the starting opportunity. Copeland on zoom action. Moussa Sanye for a three. It's the front rim, and Breed with the offensive rebound. Breed and Copeland turn down threes. Copeland penetrates back out to Paul McNeil.
Big shot by Paul McNeil. Shooting in rhythm. If he can hit that, then Wolfpack will be very hard to guard.
NC State immediately into its pressure and a 10-second violation.
And that's what that press does, that NC State. The main purpose of it is to slow you down and reduce as much time on the shot clock as possible on the offensive end.
Mentioned Breed in the starting lineup, and Sanye and Lubin playing together in the front court along with McNeil, who just hit the three, and Copeland. Late shot clock. A long two for Quadir Copeland.
And if you're North Carolina Central, you got to be comfortable giving that up.
Thought it might have been a three. Quadir Copeland is shooting the three-pointer tremendously well so far this season. 10 for 19. Sanye gets a tip. Texas Southern works in their shoot-around quite a bit about breaking NC State's pressure. Now the 10-second violation struggling here. Skip pass for an open three. Can't answer. Bryce Roberts off the mark. Playing in his 4th game of the year. Dealing with early injuries, but since he's been back in the lineup, he's been an impact player. He's gone for double digits in all 3 previous games. McNeil again. He had been in a slump after the Texas game. but he is not shy, and all he needs to do is see it go in a couple of times.
Paul McNeil, he is shot ready. He's ready to let it fly before the ball even touches his hands.
Paul McNeil already 2 threes in this game, Casey. And when he's in rhythm, he is an outstanding shooter.
Paul McNeil, as I mentioned before, he's shot ready. And part of it is just technique, right? He's shooting in a rhythm. And that is what makes the Wolfpack very hard to guard.
Able to break the pressure here. Hupstead picked up his dribble in a bad spot. Now McNeil gets a tip, and NC State has started off very active on the defensive end. And a steal by Van Allen Lubin. Already off to an 8-0 start. They leave Copeland wide open. We told you he's been shooting the 3 really well this year. Better than 50%.
And that's a huge addition to his game, being able to stretch the floor out.
Hupstead had it poked away by Copeland. Another look at the 3 from the senior from Philly.
And for Copeland, it starts on the defensive end. When you look at NC State, just watch their hands. Watch how active they are in terms of trying to get deflections and push in transition.
First basket for TSU belongs to Zaire Hayes, who is preseason second-team All-SWAC. Grad student from Houston in his 3rd year at Texas Southern. McNeil open, buried.
Paul McNeil made that shot, but Van Allen Lubin did an excellent job on hitting his man on that screen, clearing up an easy opportunity for a catch and shoot for Paul McNeil.
Roberts able to hit Hupstead, who hits him back for a driving layup. Tough. And the first time we've really seen TSU have success breaking that pressure, and it leads to a layup. A 10-point lead early for NC State. Van Allen Lubin swatted by the center, Jordan Gorecki. McNeil from the corner. Wow!
That's a big-time shot if you're Paul McNeil. Letting it fly on all ends of the court.
Casey's got 4 threes within the first 4 minutes. An answer. Zaire Hayes counter-punching for TSU. Copeland tried to reverse jam. The roof would have came off this place if that had gone down. But Paul McNeil and the Wolfpack out to a 10-point lead at our first media timeout. McNeil Jr. had 4 points against Kansas. I think it's safe to say he's broken out of his little mini shooting slump. He's got 4 threes in the first 4 minutes.
And it's important for shooters, even when you're in a slump, to still let it fly. And that's what we're seeing from Paul McNeil. He's not letting previous games affect his shooting tonight. And that's a strong mindset heading into this game.
Sometimes you talk about going to the free throw line and seeing it going in a couple times. That'll help you find your rhythm. He is already very much in rhythm. You played in this building. I've been told from players before that they feel like it's a shooter's gym. Paul McNeil definitely a shooter.
This gym is great for a shooter. The depth possession, it makes a big difference, especially for the home team.
McNeil with a steal, and he's fouled by Roberts. And look, we're going to talk about 4 made threes by 1 player in the first 4 minutes, but the defense has maybe been just as impressive as Texas Southern. When they're getting it across half court, they're shooting it well so far, but they have really struggled with this press.
And that's where it started for NC State. NC State's press has slowed Texas Southern down, and they're taking advantage on the other end.
Great straight up defense from Hayes. That Trey Holloman at the rim.
And if you're Texas Southern, it's important to hold NC State to 1 shot and done. NC State's a much larger team, so you can expect multiple people to attack the glass on all shot attempts.
Jerry Dang to the rim, and there's the offensive rebound. The tip out to guess who? McNeil for three! 17 points in the first 5 minutes. And Hayes just took his eye off the ball. We're just talking about offensive rebounding.
But once again, Wolfpack took full advantage of it, leading to another opportunity for Paul McNeil. That's the key for this Texas Southern team, is to finish possessions by rebounding the basketball.
Casey, I cannot ever remember talking about a career high in the first 5 minutes of a game. But just in case you're wondering, it's 27. He did it earlier this year against UNCG.
Okay.
So he's got a ways to go, but he is certainly on pace. How about another? So he can't miss. Saunier, drive and kick. Find him another corner three. And Matt Abel rips down a rebound. Finds Holloman for a three. A fourth chance for the Wolfpack. Dang will try. And finally, a stop. Johnny Jones, head coach. 3 NCAA tournament appearances. He's done a great job at Texas Southern. This is kind of the end of their road trip. They played all over the country. We'll talk about that. Tested their team. Just 1-7 so far. Feels like they have really good depth. Yeah, multiple guys that can score the ball, balance scoring. We haven't had much of a chance to talk about them because they have not been able to really get into their offense to this point. He has made a number of subs as Matt Abel is called for a foul on Dwayne Posey, grad student from Memphis. Let's talk about the journey of the Tigers non-conference games. These are the 3 furthest. They've also played in Nashville against Vanderbilt, but started this season in Spokane. Gonzaga coming off a loss at Minnesota, and there's another turnover on the sideline. That is 5 Tigers turnovers.
And that's a tough stretch for Texas Southern. They've been challenged a lot this season on all parts, on both ends of the floor. They got another good one tonight.
McNeil has checked out, so nobody on the floor for NC State has scored yet. Holloman trying to change that and does. McNeil with 17, Copeland with 5. Yeah, if you're just tuning in, you heard me correctly. Paul McNeil Jr. has 17 points. Texas Southern calls another timeout against the pressure. We'll take a 30-second break. Timeouts thus far. Look at roster composition. 10 returners. Brought in 5 transfers out of the 7 newcomers, but this is a veteran team. That's what you can do when you bring in those transfers. 13 guys, seniors, grad students, a lot of experience. And with 10 returners, they do have some experience playing together. Although they lost a couple players for the season that did play for them last year, and so that's why they feel like they have a lot of depth. They had a lot more at the start of preseason practice than they currently do. But still, this should be a solid team in the SWAC once they get through the gauntlet of this non-conference schedule. 3 attempt by Terrence Arsenault, a little short. Arsenault from Beaumont, Texas, coming over to NC State. 3 years at Houston. And Texas Southern and University of Houston almost right across the street from one another.
Not far.
Saunier will check out.
And one thing that we're seeing from NC State on the defensive end is they're starting to blitz ball screens, meaning that big is starting to attack the ball and force the ball handler to release it.
Ace has played well so far offensively. Alex Anderson turns it over. No, they call the foul on Abel. I thought the foul was after he had picked up the steal. Instead, it is on Matt Abel, and that's his second.
I think that's a tough one. Matt Abel jumped the gap for the transition opportunity.
So 2 here early on the star freshman for NC State. First recruit in the Will Wade era. And Matt Abel, hey, they trust you, freshman, with 2 fouls. Makes a defensive play.
NC State has a lot of size, and Matt Abel did a great job rotating and being active on the ball.
Late shot clock. Hayes driving dish. Alex Anderson's 3 doesn't bank in. A good offensive rebound. And Posey gets the roll. Little familiarity in these matchups. There's certainly familiarity with the coaching staffs, LSU ties, but also amongst some of the players, assistant coaches. Hayes popped it up in the air and tightrope the sideline to find Anderson for a layup. One of those tie-ins, Alex Anderson, he was the 3rd leading scorer at Incarnate Word a couple of years ago in the Southland. Then Allen Lubin fouled on the way up by Umar Karese. The free throws for Lubin when we return.
Immediately became too small as games with North Carolina and Duke were called off by fire marshals due to fan overcrowding. Case insisted that the proposed new Coliseum was not big enough, so the building was lengthened at the south end, increasing the rectangular capacity from 9,000 to 12,400.
The old barn, Reynolds Coliseum. So much history here, and then the beautiful renovation in 2016.
And this arena is a huge staple for NC State athletics, located right in the heart of campus. This is a huge part of NC State's history.
Used to camp out for tickets.
Did you?
No. I did not.
Okay, I was about to say. Okay.
Been a fast start for NC State here in the first 9 minutes. Nearly another turnover, deflected by Van Allen Lubin. 3 on the shot clock for the Tigers. NC State active defensively. Paul McNeil, 17 points already.
If you're Texas Southern, you got to get a quick one up here.
Well, they get the inbounds right underneath, and Hupstead scores. Too easy. First points for Troy Hupstead. Again, he had 22 here a couple of years ago with Maryland Eastern Shore. Ball was deflected. Good ball pressure from Jalen Weisinger. Extra pass, Arsenault. Move from one side to the other. Deng. Put back by Terrence Arsenault.
And once again, those opportunities are going to be there if you're the Wolfpack. Texas Southern is very undersized, so it's important to crash the glass, get second and third opportunities.
Hupstead a miss, and now a run out for Holloman. And fouled on the way up. Didn't get a chance to talk to Terrence Arsenault before the game. There's so many guys from Houston, and when you're playing elite basketball, I wonder how well does he know some of these guys? You play in the summertime and, you know, get some pickup in.
It's a small world.
Yeah.
The basketball world's very small. You got to think a lot of these guys started early with AAU, and then you just kind of work your way up the ranks. So these relationships last for over a decade.
Grow up playing with and against guys, and then when you're in college, I don't know how much you really played off season with guys from other colleges.
That's big. Yeah, those open runs, and you know,
a lot of people aren't invited to those games.
They're very exclusive.
Holloman sinks the free throw, comes in, or comes out. Got to hear Copeland come back in. Texas Southern wants to play up tempo. It's been NC State's pace. And another turnover. Trying to beat that press down the sideline.
And that press is going to cause problems not only for Texas Southern, but for a good amount of opponents that NC State will face this season.
It's something that I asked Coach Wade about in shoot-around today. Is Van Allen Lubin pulls in the rebound. McNeil back in, turns down a three. Unselfish. Couple extra passes. Dang, can't pay it off. But after the Kansas loss, Coach Wade thanked the fans because the atmosphere, he said, was tremendous. And he said, you know, he's just really disappointed. It's a missed opportunity, but he felt like his team was doing a lot of things better, particularly defensively. And I asked him, you know, what specifically do you feel like your team is doing better? First thing he said, well, for starters, we're starting to play harder. So that's something that he was pleased with. But he mentioned press percentage. He said, we were kind of down around 40%. We've gotten that up a little over 60%. He wants to be at 80%.
And that press in particular, it comes down to details. One wrong move from anybody on the line can lead to easy baskets for the opposing team.
Posey outside Weisinger, too strong. Hupstead on the weak side. Missed an easy one. But the hustle from Hupstead.
And if you're Texas Southern, you got to find a way to come up for those easy baskets at the rim, especially on the road, playing a team like NC State in the historic Reynolds Coliseum.
That motor from Hupstead. McNeil fouled on the three. I mean, look, he's already made 5. You got to get a hand up. I know you're supposed to never foul a three-point shooter, but when a guy's made 5, I mean, you're probably more worried about getting a great contest in.
You're right. And Paul McNeil's, his elevation on his shot, I mean, it's like you can't block it. His elevation is so high, especially with his size. As a defender, essentially, there's nothing you can really do to kind of affect it.
Listed at 6'5", gets good rise on his jump shot. Shoots it pretty up high too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's a very high arcing shot.
Former North Carolina Gatorade Player of the Year out of Rockingham, North Carolina. Paul McNeil with 20 points. 5 threes, 5 free throws. Anderson, good pass to Hupstead, and it's goaltending call.
And that's what you're going to get sometimes with that press. With NC State essentially looking to kind of bait you into a trap, that means someone's going to be open And if you're Texas Southern, you have to take full advantage of it.
That ends a 7-0 run for NC State.
Reynolds does a great job of setting screens. He always finds contact and hits the defender, which is rare in college basketball.
Breed. And the foul going to go against NC State's Vin Allen Lubin, who kind of pleads his case. He was just standing there. And to your point, that's what you're going to get sometimes against the press. When they've broken it, Texas Southern shoot 54%. They're getting some good looks. It's just how many times can they generate those and not turn it over, which they've done 7 times in the first 12 minutes.
And then when you're Texas Southern, you beat the front line. It's like you have shot blockers waiting for you on the back end. And that's what makes it tough to complete the possession in terms of scoring the ball.
These two teams played in 2021. It was a low-scoring game. Have not gotten that tonight. Multiple Pack players got a hand up to block. Breed swatted the other way. Well done by Anderson. Now Weisinger will try the corner 3. It lips out. And last touch by NC State. It'll be Tigers basketball when we come back. ACC Network has you covered for Miami's first-round matchup against Texas A&M in the college football playoffs. Saturday morning, 11 a.m. Eastern Time. ACC Huddle will be in College Station with a 1-hour preview show. Then during the game, they'll have a Skycast version from just above the field with the radio voice of the Hurricanes, Joe Zagacki, on the call. And after the game, stick around for the ACC Huddle Final Score post-game show. We'll have a complete breakdown and reactions from coaches and players. Looking forward to that game. That will be very cool. Troy Hupstead has been having a career year in terms of shooting the three-point shot, but that one an air ball, and he hears about it from the Reynolds Coliseum crowd. Back with Casey Morsell, I'm Andrew Sanders. A red-hot start for NC State's Paul McNeil as Allen Breed, who drew his first start of the season tonight with no Darian Williams. He is out for just tonight, says NC State. So and when your star player is out, there's going to be a little bit of panic, a little bit of commotion, but it is expected to just be one game missed. They expect him back in the lineup against Ole Miss on Sunday, the 21st.
And there hasn't been much of a drop-off from this NC State team. I mean, especially on the defensive end with how active they are with their hands.
How about that tough take from Alex Anderson?
Strong take by Alex. But once again, it's a tough basket, and that's all NC State is giving up right now.
Take another look at it. And the foul on Moussa Sanye, who also drew the start tonight for NC State. His first start of the season, both Sanye and Vin Allen Lubin. So I touched on the familiarity a little bit earlier, and Anderson, an incarnate word. 11 points per game a couple years ago, and that's when, of course, Coach Wade was at McNeese in the Southland. It's been Paul McNeil's night. 23 points in the first half.
That basket is huge for Paul McNeil tonight. It's not really much that Texas Southern can do to throw him off at this point.
I mentioned his career high earlier, 27 points against UNCG. That's his college career high. He's on pace for about his high school career high, which was 71. That broke a North Carolina state record.
I don't know if anybody will break that. I don't know. I don't know.
The second effort, and it goes for Dwayne Posey. Casey, I'm sure you had some big games in high school. I don't know, did you ever drop 70?
Oh, yeah, I'm not 70.
Not 70, no.
Nowhere near 70, I'll tell you that.
It all started with the dribble penetration of Quadir Copeland there.
And that's what he likes to do. Draw multiple defenders to the ball. And if you're Paul McNeil and Allen Breed, guys who are off the ball, you should thrive off of the attention that Quadir Copeland draws when he has the ball in his hands.
Posey, another transfer from the Southland. The grad student from Memphis was at Northwestern State a couple of years ago, and this is off the back rim. And McNeil grabs the rebound. He's got 23 of NC State's 37. Breed rises up, takes contact, and is fouled. Still sporting the black eye. The controversial play was ruled on the court not as a flagrant. They did review. I think the 19,000 in Lenovo Center wanted it to be a flagrant against Kansas. Not the case.
And the officials definitely heard it after that play. Allen Breed, he's a very scrappy guard, and we've heard Will Wade say it before. He trusts Allen Breed in terms of making the right play and getting this NC State team into a consistent, positive flow.
Scotty Abube, senior center, checks in. And that's the key word, right? Trust. That word means a lot, coach to player.
When a coach trusts you, that means you have a very long leash.
Allen Breed was with Coach Wade at McNeese last year. Last 2 years, but sat out his first year, and then he was injured just 2 games into the season. Was still working back from that injury in preseason. Minutes were restricted, so when you miss some of that time, it takes a little while to get going. But when he has come in and played, he has just been really steady, and you can see that trust factor as Abube erases that shot. You talked about opportunity, and I know they don't play the same position, but when those minutes are gone, you might get a little more opportunity. Coach Wade, with a 20-point lead here in the first half, mixing it up a little bit.
And that was expected. That was expected tonight from this NC State team. Trying to figure out which lineups work best together without the star player.
26 and counting for Paul McNeil in the first half. Quadir Copeland's wide open, but you got to find the hot hand.
You have to, especially Paul McNeil, who is super hot.
And again, Q's made a 3 tonight. He's shooting over 50% on the season. He says, you know what? Let me go find a better shot. McNeil is on fire. Jerry Dang can step out and hit that shot. Casey, Paul McNeil 1 point shy of a career high. He's already had a career night in terms of shooting the 3-ball. He's got 6 made 3-pointers already.
And for Paul McNeil, it all starts before the catch. He came into this game confident, letting it fly, whether it's in rhythm, catch and shoot. I don't think he's done. I think he has a lot more in the tank.
It sure seems like it. He is on the floor along with Abel, Holloman, Dang, and Abube. Break the pressure, Hupstead layup.
Once again, if you're Texas Southern, you're going to need to try to hold this Wolfpack team to 1 shot and done. It's going to be tough. They're going to be tough to guard. They get second and third and fourth opportunities.
Anderson sticking with McNeil there. Some of those three-point opportunities have come, to your point, off of those offensive rebounds. NC State already has 11. Nothing offensive rebound there as Holloman makes a tough shot. He's a tough shot taker and a tough shot maker. Abube with another big block. Got Posey this time. And the jump ball. Possession arrow going the way of the Tigers.
And once again, when you beat the press, you have that back line with shot blockers waiting for you. You've seen with Abube, who is very physical at the rim. Strong play by the Wolfpack.
It's at Wyoming last year, Scotty Abube. Playing in his 7th game of the year. Both teams in the bonus. So it was originally called a jump ball, but foul assessed, 1-1. Foul on Abube, his first, but the team's 7th. Got his own miss, did Posey, and fouled again by Abube.
And that's what you need to do with all shot blockers. Posey, what Posey did on that play was textbook. You're supposed to get them up in the air because you know they're seeking the shot blocks. That's all, you know, that's what they're seeking. That's what they're looking for. Yep. If you're Abube. So what Posey did, getting them in the air, drawing contact, is textbook.
It is 2 shots here. It went in for Posey. We're looking ahead at our final women's basketball doubleheader at 2025 on ACC Network. Monday the 29th, Hannah Hidalgo and number 20 Notre Dame host Pitt and South Bend at 6 Eastern. Then Indy Navarre leads number 18 North Carolina's balanced attack against BC at the Conte Forum. Both games are also available on the ESPN app. Some pressure from the Tigers. And this should be 10 seconds. It is. Abube's pass blocked up by Anderson. And now Texas Southern giving NC State a little taste of its own medicine. You see Coach Wade's reaction to the turnover. It has been an area NC State has been good in this year, taking care of the basketball, top 30 in the country, just under 10 turnovers per game.
And that's the way of the game, taking care of the ball and not beating yourself.
Abel sticking with Anderson. Spins, baseline, shot fake, reverse layup with the left. That was a good move.
And once again, Anderson trying to get Abube up in the air.
Yeah.
You know, he's seeking to meet the ball at the rim. A shot fake. It's bound to work.
Anderson now with 6 points to go along with a couple assists. Wolfpack lead 23. Abel, float game.
Strong move by Matt Abel. Get into his spot. One dribble into the floater. Very hard to guard.
Anderson throws back Roberts, swinging to the corner. Hupstead. Good ball movement. Posey's 3, strong. And again, he crashes the boards, gets his own miss, and carries it all the way to the rim. Kept alive. Hayes comes out with it. Can go 2 for 1 here. Well, get a 1-and-1 free throw.
And credit to Texas Southern for finishing the possession there. I mean, with this NC State lineup on the floor, it is extremely hard to finish a possession, right? With Abube, and Dane crashing the glass, it's super difficult. So even though they might be getting the lucky bounce in terms of finishing the possession, it's still a huge accomplishment.
He's able to hit the front end of the 1-and-1. Bowen scoring so far for the Tigers. Posey has 7. Anderson, Hupstead, and Hayes all with 6, make it 7 for number 7. Switch off Posey on Holloman, 10 to shoot. And a foul late in the shot clock.
If you're Texas Southern, you got to be solid on that play. Looked like you took NC State out of their offense. Holloman was looking to make a one-on-one move, a one-on-one play, and bailed him out at the very end.
You've already done all the hard work.
You did.
You defended really well for 25 seconds or so.
The next part of the job is finishing the possession. Rebounding the ball.
NC State had an explosive offense this year. 3rd best in the ACC. Better than 87 points per game. Already cracked 50 here in the first half, mostly thanks to Paul McNeil's career night. Already 6 made three-pointers. He's got 26 in the first half. Final possession of the half belongs to Roberts and the Tigers. 3 ball off to the right. And that'll end the first 20 minutes. It's been the Paul McNeil Show.
Paul McNeil has sent a strong message early in this game, and it started from the very beginning. Getting hot early and taking Texas Southern out of this game.
The Heritage game here in Reynolds Coliseum. Paul McNeil and NC State with a 51-28 lead at the halftime break. After the break, stick with us to learn about some of the great history here in Reynolds Coliseum and the 2016 renovation.
Coliseum. A seating capacity of 12,500 has enabled North Carolina State to be one of the leading attendance draws in the nation. Coach Case's top-ranked quintets have provided many exciting moments in basketball, like those you're about to see now. Coach Everett Case's Cagers have caught 7 of 10 Dixie Classic crowns.
He's passing behind his back like he was just handing it to him.
Ronnie Shavlik, Cook is in there.
His strategy, go more to the big man, Tommy Burleson.
Here we are in Reynolds Coliseum. We're about 3 months into construction, right in the heart of demo.
So in the east and west lobbies of Reynolds Coliseum, everyone will remember the very narrow and dark hallways that were only about 3.5 feet wide. Those have now been expanded out to 40 feet. There's some very generous hospitality space that will include new concessions and merchandising opportunities. On the east lobby, we'll also include a new media room for pregame and postgame press conferences. One key element of the project, of course, is air conditioning. Everyone's excited to add that to the building for the first time in 60 years, and utilities are going in through the Jeter Bay parking lot on the east side of the building to bring the chilled water loop into Reynolds Coliseum, and the chases are being run up in the corners of the building to tie into the units that'll be housed on the roof. One of the outcomes of the project will be moving the playing court down to the south end of the arena and reducing the capacity from its current 8,300 seat configuration to about 5,500 seats, which will make for a very intimate environment, very tight to the playing court for women's basketball, volleyball, wrestling, and gymnastics that now compete in Reynolds Coliseum. In the north lobby of Reynolds, the seating bowl will be removed entirely so that the full 3-story height of the building will be viewed as soon as patrons walk in the door. And they'll have a clear shot through the Grand Hall all the way down onto the new playing court. The area in the North Bowl where the heavy equipment is now working and removing the seating bowl will create the Grand Hall. That's the home and the heart of the new NC State Athletics Walk of Fame and History. It's where the Hall of Fame for athletics will be housed, as well as all kinds of fun, interactive experiences for fans, and all 23 current sports, as well as all historical sports in NC State will be represented in the Walk of Fame and History. And it'll begin in the Grand Hallway and flow throughout the concourses, both the upper concourse and the lower concourse, for a fully immersive experience throughout the arena. So after about 3 months into the project and in the heart of mass demolition right now, the project is on schedule and on budget.
Say Reynolds Coliseum is a shooter's gym. I have to imagine Paul McNeil Jr. would agree. One of his 7 first half three-pointers. He's got 26 at the break. A 23-point lead for NC State here at halftime. The Reynolds Coliseum, the Heritage game. First half belonged to the Wolfpack. Their pressure and three-point shooting. Andrew Sanders here with Casey Morcell. Casey, you said that with Darian Williams being out just for this game only, that this would be a big opportunity for the guys in red and white, and Paul McNeil Jr. has made the most of that opportunity.
Paul McNeil has taken huge advantage of the opportunity that he's been given tonight. And you knew that NC State would need a huge scoring boost. When you lose a guy like Darian Williams, you lose 16 points a game on the offensive end. So Paul McNeil has done more, scoring 26 and getting the Wolfpack going on the offensive end.
26 points in the first half, 1 point shy of his career high. So good chance we see that in the second half. Also, 7 made three-pointers. That is a career best for Paul. That is 2 shy of the NC State program record set by Rodney Monroe. He made 9 three-pointers in a game. So he's got a chance, 2 for the tie, 3 to take the record.
He's on track to make it happen. And I wouldn't be surprised if Will Wade drove some plays so he can achieve the record.
You got to get him some shots. He's on fire. Look at the game summary in this first half. Look, Tigers shot it well, too, at 40% and able to get the ball in the paint when they broke the NC State. Pressure and a balanced attack for Texas Southern. But Paul McNeil Jr., a one-man wrecking crew, he almost outscored the Tigers by himself in the first half. Let's see what the second 20 minutes holds. He had 7 of the 9 made three-pointers for Coach Wade's team. They came in as one of the top scoring, one of the top shooting teams in the ACC. They have really shot the 3-ball well this year. 3rd in the ACC, 38.5%. 4th best field goal percentage in the league, almost 49%. Shooting free throws at a high clip as well. They're doing it tonight without the ACC preseason player of the year, Darian Williams. If you missed the first half of the show, not a huge cause for concern. He has been dealing with a nagging shoulder issue really since Maui, since the trip to Maui. So So he is out this game, but expected to be back in the lineup. Sunday's game against Ole Miss is a neutral site game in Greensboro. Anderson to the corner. Hayes short, getting after the offensive boards. Both Hupstead and Posey capable offensive rebounders. Copeland goes spin cycle, can't finish, but Vin Allen Lubin can. He gets the first basket for NC State in the second half, and that's probably appropriate because as well as he's been playing overall, his second half numbers have been incredible this year.
Van Allen Lubin, especially tonight, he's going to have those opportunities to get second and third chances at the rim. Texas Southern does a tough struggles in terms of finishing possessions.
Hayes darts to the rim, met by Sanye. First time that he has played in the front court as a starter with Vin Allen Lubin. Here's the numbers. Yeah, first half, look, he's shooting it well. But in the second half, 78%, he had a streak of 24 made field goals in the second half of games that spanned 5-game stretch. Just simply didn't miss. Hupstead doesn't miss an acrobatic shot to beat the shot clock buzzer. He does lead the ACC, by the way, 67% overall. 2/3 of his shots going in. Good find, Copeland. And how do you shoot 67%? Well, you got to be good at basketball, but you get a lot of looks like that. That helps.
Quadir Copeland, he's definitely the straw that stirs the drink for this NC State team, especially on the offensive end. Guys like Van Allen Lubin thrive off of those opportunities that Quadir Copeland opens up.
Hupstead blocked by Vin Allen Lubin, but again, he and Posey both getting after it, crashing the glass. NC State plus 10 on the boards right now, but Texas Southern is quite capable. Again, Copeland finds Lubin. Same spot, this time in and one.
Van Allen Lubin does a great job of rolling to the basket on Quadir's screen. As we've seen there, the defender tried to ice it so that he can't go off. And Van Allen Lubin does a great job of putting himself in position to catch a great pass from Quadir Copeland. That's excellent pick and roll action on that play.
And something you complimented, again, leading the league just above Henry Vasar of North Carolina. You complimented his screens in the first half. We saw in that replay, he's getting to the correct spot, but not rushing it. It's easy to kind of not really set a good screen. You're not fully slipping it. You're just in such a rush to get to your spot in your offense. But he really is a veteran, kind of understands how to do both.
Exactly, and that's what leads to the opportunities. It's a technique.
Bryce Roberts with the 3 ball, the grad student from Bossier City. Seems like there's been a point of emphasis. Van Allen Lubin, quiet first half offensively. They are getting him a touch every time down. Get a piece of the paint, corner 3. Good offense from the Tigers. McNeil, first 3 of the second half. He picked up right where he left off. 8 3-pointers. One shy of tying the NC State single game record. Oh, teardrop. Alex Anderson with a tough make.
Anderson does a great job of driving the basketball.
Reed taps in his own miss. So a new career high for Paul McNeil Jr. Now 29 points. Roberts starting to find his rhythm from downtown. He's got 8 points, back-to-back threes. Again, he's been a double-figure scorer every game this year. Breed spotted up and shot ready.
And once again, Van Allen doing a great job of setting up his man and hitting him with a screen, which led to an easy three-point opportunity for the Wolfpack.
Hupstead. Boy, both teams shooting the lights out here to start the second half. Hupstead now with the team best 11 points. McNeil, heat check, counted and one!
He's on fire. And when he's hot, he's tough to slow down.
To tie the program single game record, 9 made threes. And a free throw to come after the break. Night for Paul McNeil Jr., a record tying night so far. Casey, you were a good three-point shooter. You played with some really good three-point shooters. Have you ever seen anything like this?
Nothing like this. Paul McNeil has got going early, and the atmosphere is feeding into it. He's embracing it, and this is a shooter's gym for sure.
Van Allen Lubin got the rejection initially in a foul. I think it's on. Yes, it is on 22. And this is what NC State was hoping to get from Paul McNeil this year. He's really matured. He's grown a lot into his sophomore year. You got a glimpse when he went for 24 against Wake Forest late in the year last year. And he's had some big games like the 27 against UNCG, had 20 against Texas, but had been pretty quiet since then. He has been in the zone tonight. And a turnover here.
Paul's going to have the shots that he's made tonight. He's going to have those opportunities in games coming up, right? This is not a game where Texas Southern is the only team that's going to give up those looks. He's stepped up into this game confident, and he has to keep that same energy going for the rest of the season.
So 2 quick fouls in the second half. For Van Allen Lubin. I believe that's 4 on him. And so he got off to a quick start with a few layups here to start the second half, and he'll go to the bench with the 4 fouls in NC State. Sanye, we saw Bube for a good bit, 5 minutes in the first half. Might we see him for some extended minutes in the second? Made free throw allows the Tigers to set up their pressure. Sanye eventually fouled, scrambling against the press.
Texas Southern is very scrappy. Very scrappy. And one thing that they're testing tonight is NC State's ball security. Trying to get them to make quick decisions, and NC State has been very solid with that part of the game.
We just saw a turnover in the corner from Abel. Holloman turns it over here. And even with kind of a flurry of turnovers, it's only 5 on the night so far, to your point. But they are starting to kind of stress test the ball handling and the ball security of NC State. Texas Southern, again, they've been on the road a lot. We showed you earlier. Get to go back home to Houston after this one. They get Abilene Christian on Monday. Played them last year. We'll play them again this year. Nice soft bounce. Dwayne Posey. Deng hits the underside of the backboard. I think it just got up in the air and didn't have any passing option. Just tried to throw it up. Hayes attacks baseline. Roberts has already hit 2 this half. Can't hit this time. And tapped out by Posey. Again, a return trip home, and Abilene Christian, another home game. Then on the road at Southern, at Grambling, Arkansas, Pine Bluff. Next 5 for Texas Southern. Picked the middle of the pack in the SWAC, picked 5th, 12-team league. Bethune-Cookman preseason favorites. They forgot all about Sagne. And it is a goaltend. He was in the dunker spot, elected to lay it up. But it is officially goaltended.
I thought Sagne was going to dunk that one. Great vision by Quadir Copeland, finding the open Sagne.
Coach Jones going to challenge, and this will bring us to our break. Back from the break, it was an unsuccessful challenge for Texas Southern. Called to goaltending on the floor. You see it clearly did hit the glass and then was touched by Troy Hubstead of TSU. And so Tigers lose the challenge. They're also charged a timeout, so just one more remaining. Officials, Abel with a steal and a lay-in.
Great job by Matt Abel, reading the defender's eyes. He does a great job of playing the gaps.
Officials Bert Smith, Tommy Morrissey, and Ryan Sassano. Deng for 3.
That's a big shot for Deng, a pull-up 3 in transition. If a guy his size is making that shot, that's huge for the Wolfpack.
And again, when you talk about opportunity, Deng did not play against Kansas, but he's gotten in the flow of this game and hit a couple of triples. Sagne over the back with the foul. So bring us to another timeout. NC State by 26 here in the Heritage game. Just down the street, Pullen Park. Take a ride on the Holiday Express. This is the final home game in the non-conference for NC State. And the final home game for the holiday break. Some people here brought their ugly Christmas sweaters. Some just Christmas sweaters. Some of them, their ugly Christmas sweaters. Casey, you're far too fashionable to have an ugly Christmas sweater.
You got to have at least one.
You got to have one?
You got to have at least one.
Hayes forced into a tough 2. Abel in transition for 3. Couple threes he's taken, but a little flat tonight.
Yeah, he's been trying to get in the rhythm. And it started for him on the defensive end, but like you said, he's been flat in terms of his shot.
Well, they're tough on him. They coach him up because he has such great potential and has been an impact freshman.
It's valuable that he's gaining this experience. Will Wade has definitely let him learn. He lets him learn. You know, it's not like one of those things where, you know, you make a mistake and it's quick to sub out the game. Will Wade lets him play through his mistakes, and that's big for him and his growth as a player.
That's partly what the non-conference is for. You said the Kansas game was a lesson for this team, a lesson learned, a chance to grow. Touch pass. Initial find, and then Sanye, almost like a volleyball. So, you know, Reynolds Coliseum is the home of NC State volleyball. As Copeland found him, he kind of set this up almost like a setter, setting up Jerry Dang.
Quick tap.
Home of NC State volleyball, wrestling, women's basketball. They have their ACC home opener on this floor tomorrow night against Georgia Tech. Gymnastics, too, was honored here at midcourt during one of the timeouts.
And Andrew, this atmosphere for all the sports, it's electric.
You got to see that during the halftime break if you didn't get up to get a snack. And the history, of course, of Reynolds Coliseum, and then you combine that with the renovation. Carisi off on the three. And they did the renovation in 2016 and added the Hall of Fame and the Grand Hall. And they really got it right to keep some of the history and the aesthetic and also make it nice and new. And this is a place that is very tough to play. And we showed you the graphic early on when the men's team comes and plays here. But also the women's team here, since the renovation, they win about 90% of their home games.
And that's big. And that is huge.
Talk about a home court advantage. In case you were wondering, when is Paul McNeil going to get back in this game? He's at the scorer's table now. Jerry Dang, he's been making plenty of threes with McNeil out. He's picked right up. And NC State has knocked down 14 three-pointers tonight.
And I'm a huge fan of Jerry Dang. I mean, the way he stretches the floor, his versatility to play under the basket or out, it's very valuable. And I would expect to see more of him as the season advances.
Dang now with 3 triples tonight. Roberts trying to answer, a little short. In game 1 of the Will Wade era, the Red Reckoning, Dang cues it up, splash. NC State made 19 three-pointers. Dang right there, number 15. Still almost 10 minutes left. Breed, a steal. Copeland, reverse flush.
For NC State has all started on the defensive end, as we've seen there from Quadir Copeland with the reverse finish. Great job on both ends of the floor from NC State.
It's a 10-0 run the last couple of minutes to really stretch this lead out. And Holloman a foul on Hupstead. That is, I believe, the 7th. And it'll be 1-1. So the Tigers in the bonus the rest of the way. No, pardon me, 6th. Man, they put that up on the board fast.
did.
I thought I looked up quick enough.
Did.
Holloman able to save it behind his back after Jordan Hamilton, who just subbed in, senior from Memphis, missed the baseline jumper. So McNeil back in the game. Dang continues to let it rip. That one no good. Again, if you're just joining us, yeah, NC State averages about 87 points per game. They have that with 9 minutes left. Paul McNeil Jr. has tied the program record with 9 made three-pointers. He's 9 for 11. He's made 6 free throws as well. A career best 33 points. Holloman, the lob. And there's the hustle again. Hupstead has a motor, and it does not stop.
He's going to fight to the very end. I mean, that motor from Hupstead is unmatched.
Dang gets a nice hand from this home crowd as he makes his way off. 14 points for Jerry Dang. I wonder if they're aware of the record.
I'm sure they are. I am sure they are.
Able to keep that pivot foot.
I would not be surprised if they look for Paul McNeil as this game approaches the end. I'm sure they're going to draw up something for him.
You got to find him 1 or 2 more shots at least. You got to run something.
You
for
have
him.
to.
Yeah.
There's plenty of time left for him to do it.
33 points. You know, just the other day, your old teammate Dennis Parker Jr. scored 53 for Radford.
Yeah.
Which was the most by any D1 player I think I saw since 2019.
Yeah. And he made it look easy. That was a phenomenal performance by Dennis Parker Jr.
I mean, yeah, in the NBA, you're playing 48 minutes, but in college, 30 is a big deal.
Yeah.
And McNeil has 33 here with 8 minutes plus left. The Wolfpack press takes it away. Abel rises up and throws it down. Nearly another steal, reach-in foul. The 1-and-1 here for Hayes. When we come back from the under-8 timeout, Matt Abel and NC State having fun. 89 points at the under-8. Well, if you're a fan of three-point shooting, and hey, who isn't? You come to the right game. NC State has made 15 so far tonight.
And it's all started with Paul McNeil hitting one after another. And it's been contagious for this Wolfpack squad.
They shoot it well as a team. It's been mostly McNeil tonight. Dang has connected for 4. Quadir Copeland, Allen Breed both chipped in with 1. There's Dang. The last 3 we saw from McNeil was a heat check. It was NBA range. He was fouled on it and still made it. Here it is for the record. Almost got the bounce. Abube, another offensive rebound. And he was fouled.
And as we've seen from NC State, They're looking for Paul McNeil to shoot and make one more three. I think this place will go electric, especially the bench.
There were a couple of oohs and ahs in the crowd as Abube, who has a unique free throw, hit nothing but the bottom of the net right there. I don't know if that's the crowd knowing. I mean, in the day, now with social media, there could be a buzz at halftime. You check your phone. Hey, he could get the record. You know, I wonder how many people in the building are aware of it. McNeil again, in and out. Well, that looked like it might be a clean block from Weisinger, but McNeil looked to add to his career high from the free throw line here.
He's been doing it all. Shooting, running his lanes, getting attempts at the rim. Such a complete game from Paul McNeil tonight.
You talk about being in the zone.
Yeah.
I think this is that amplified. I don't know how to even describe
big time
a night like that. You're talking about 9 made threes.
It started as soon as the ball was tipped. He
had 4 in 4 minutes to start the game.
He made it clear he was going to be the aggressor tonight.
Anderson with a good find, and Hayes connects. Abube lays it in. NC State breaks down the pressure. There's the up tempo from the Tigers. Showtime!
Strong finish by Abube with the emphasis.
That was a power dunk. Posey goes up to save a turnover. Then Abube skies for the block. Well, he's making his case for some more minutes. He's fun to watch.
He's doing it all. That's big time, yeah. Nothing but ball.
And Arsenault fouls Hayes on the 3, trying to get around that screen. Again, NC State with 15 made threes at 19 in the opener against NC Central. Unforgettable first game for Coach Wade. They scored 114 points. I don't know if we'll get that tonight, but if this continues with this pace, both teams are happy to run. play up tempo.
It's possible.
It is possible. Especially if they end up, making 19 or more threes. How about that? 22 games in the league and 100 or more. Second most ever. And before McNeil can take the three, got an offensive foul on the screen.
Once again, NC State trying to get a look for Paul McNeil.
Tigers playing two bigs right now. Gorecki, who got the start and has the ball outside. Carisi also 6'10 and 6'11 respectively as Gorecki goes into McNeil and commits the foul. And well, when you're having a career night, that's, I mean, it was some contact. You get knocked down, but you take free throws out of it and a chance to add to the career best.
It's just been one of those nights for Paul McNeil. Finding a way to get easy baskets, and whether it's threes, layups, or even at the free throw line, finding a way.
Up to 36. .37. Perfect 10 of 10 from the line to go along with the 9 threes. So if he does break the record, he'll have 40. McNeil with his easiest points of the night. 39 for Paul McNeil Jr.
And Paul's been getting whatever he wanted tonight against this Texas Southern team. And credit to his teammates for finding him.
In transition, McNeil, program record, his 10th made three of the night. 42 points.
That's a huge accomplishment for Paul McNeil.
Many here in Reynolds Coliseum on their feet, witnessing history. Paul McNeil in the Heritage Game, a program record. Here's a look at the ACC standings thus far. It's been a pretty good non-conference. The league has improved this year from a season ago. And NC State looking to be one of those NCAA tournament teams. That is obviously the goal. Coach Wade felt like he's got the squad to be able to get to the NCAA tournament in year one. Here's part of the reason: it takes talent, good coaching. But last year, the opportunities, only 5 Quad 1 ACC games. This year, while they've had some close misses, like the last game against Kansas, there are opportunities for this team to pick up those Quad 1 wins.
And that's huge if you're NC State. I mean, just having the opportunity to still continue to stack up Quad 1 opportunities, that's big. And that's all you ask for playing in the ACC.
Jordan Snell and Colt Langdon going to check in. Let's take a look in the net. Yeah, NC State at 36. They're better than that, top 30 in Ken Palm. So some of the metrics are there saying, hey, this team is pretty good. Triple digits on the scoreboard says that as well. So Snell in the game, so is Langdon. Paul McNeil with 42 points. Set a program record, 10 made threes. Can they get him another? The ACC record, by the way, is 11. Dang. Well, he's had a night too. He's made 4. That's gotten overshadowed by a program record, but 4 made threes in a night is good.
And Dang has a sweet looking shot, right? I mean, his art, his elevation, it's all high level.
McNeil, deep! Got it! To tie an ACC record with 11 three-pointers. He ties Georgia Tech's Dennis Scott, Wake Forest Craig Dawson. Last done by Dawson, February of 2002. You are seeing that something that hasn't been done in the ACC in 23 years.
He cannot be stopped. He's hitting at all angles of the floor.
So he was at 42 before that shot. That had tied him with TJ Warren. It was the ACC Player of the Year. He had 42 against Boston College. That was in March of 2014. Okay. Wow. He's at 45. So he surpassed TJ Warren. He's at 46. Rodney Monroe, whose record he broke with the number of threes, he had 48 against Georgia Tech back in 1991. He's now 1 point shy of that. Still perfect from the free throw line. He has got Craig Hamill, the great SID for NC State men's basketball.
Yeah.
I mean, just wearing out the record book right now.
Craig's working right now. He is.
He is deep in the record book right now. So past Rodney Monroe, 48 points in 1991. Got to go back to the 70s. There's so much great history here in Reynolds Coliseum.
Yeah.
You know, David Thompson. He's got this crowd on its feet every time he takes a shot. That would have been for 50. Maybe time to get him one more. The fans are wanting it. McNeil for 50. And the fans are, they like the foul by Abube because they want one more possession. By the way, we have a player of the game interview post-game.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if there's much debate about who we should get for that.
This is the easiest player of the game. Oh, man.
By the way, it's now a double-double for Paul. 47 points, 10 rebounds.
He's been complete. I mean,
Abube gets a great hand from the crowd. The 10 rebounds, also a career high.
Oh,
yeah. Anderson gets the roll on the first free throw, and that prevents the chicken sandwich promotion, which is why he's getting booed for making a free throw. Snell for 3. Roberts will get a layup just before the horn. (108-72) the final score in the Heritage game, and what you have to think tonight will be known as the Paul McNeil Jr. game.
Incredible from start to finish from Paul McNeil.
To go for 47, tie an ACC record, 11 made three-pointers.
And that's hard to do at any level. And Paul has been
tie a Dennis Scott record. Wow. It's one of the things we love about sports, right? Whenever you show up to the arena, you never know what you're going to see. You might just witness history.
And that's what happened tonight. I mean, unbelievable performance from Paul McNeil. I mean, we've seen it at the high school level, and the fact that he did it tonight. Look at him just coming over here. My boy. Hell of a game.
As his teammates stand for the alma mater, get Paul the headset on. First of all, how you feeling?
Feeling amazing.
Oh my goodness. 47 points.
Yes, sir. Yes,
At
sir.
what point? I mean, you had 4 threes in the first 4 minutes.
Yes, sir.
Was it the first shot that left your hand, the second one? At what point did you realize I got something special going tonight?
Really the first shot.
The first
my preparation was great today. You know, I was more focused, more locked in, man. And when it dropped, it dropped. So that's all I can say, man. I want to say thank God too also. So.
Well, we've got highlights. We've got all of your three-pointers.
Yes, sir.
11 made three-pointers.
Yes, sir.
Let's roll that tape. So you knew from the first one. Did you know you had 7 at halftime?
No,
Did you know that there was a record on the line tonight?
Oh, no, sir.
You don't know anything
I was
about
just playing.
that.
Just playing.
Rodney Monroe made 9. That was the program record.
Ooh.
You broke that with the 10th one.
Yes, sir. Well deserved.
You tied an ACC record tonight with the 11th one.
Yes, sir. It was amazing. It was fun. My guys believed in. My guys gave me the touches. So that was all I could ask for.
And tell us about your preparation, right? I mean, feeding off of this atmosphere in the historic Reynolds Coliseum. What was your prep like heading into this game? I mean, in terms of having this performance like this.
Just know my shot wasn't falling. I was in a slump, man.
Yeah.
So I just trust my work and believe in God, and just the outcome I had. So I'm thankful for it.
Definitely.
What does it mean to have all your teammates right here supporting?
Good, man. They're my boys. They're my boys. You already know they're my boys, man. I love my boys.
Hey,
whole crowd over here.
47 points tonight, the most by an NC State player since 1991.
Yes, sir. Record's meant to be broken, so I had to break one.
Well, you had 71 in high school, right? So
yes,
this
sir.
is nothing new to you.
Yeah. That's what I've been doing, but I'm being humble about it. It's just another game, another day.
Congratulations.
Thank you, man.
Career game.
Yes, sir.
Paul McNeil Jr.
Yes, sir. For sure.
The player of the
Big
game.
time.
Tying an ACC record here in the Heritage game. What a performance. One that they are going to be talking about for a long, long time here in Raleigh.
And that was amazing. I mean, I'd never seen a shooting performance like that in person ever. I mean, wow. Incredible.
And you never know what you're going to see, and you can see the team chemistry, how happy they are for him. As he said, I was in a shooting slump. Not anymore. Not anymore.
Not anymore.
47 points for Paul McNeil. The story in this one to set an NC State single game program record with 11 made three-pointers in the pack. Run away with this one. 108-72 the final. Thank you all for watching. Thanks to Casey Morcell, our great crew here in Raleigh. I'm Andrew Sanders. Good night. This has been a presentation of ESPN.
My man.